Hey, friends! Barky Dog here, back with another movie review. Everybody knows Chuck Norris, right? Walker, Texas Ranger himself. We all remember his big action movies like Code of Silence, The Octagon, Missing in Action, The Delta Force, Invasion USA, and on and on. He even fought Bruce Lee in the Coliseum in The Way of the Dragon. Norris started out as a karate champion, and it was Steve McQueen who convinced Norris to go into pictures. Most of his biggest movies were made with the Cannon Group in the 1980s. Then came his role as Walker, Texas Ranger, and then he became an internet meme. This time, we're talking about one of his 1980s Cannon movies that was a change of pace for Norris. This one is an adventure comedy called Firewalker from 1986. Our story goes like this. One night, down on their luck misadventurers, Norris and Lou Gossett Jr. are in an Arizona bar and considering hanging up their adventure hats after their last failed expedition. But then a young hottie shows up looking for help. She has a treasure map and wants the pair to help her find the treasure. She not only needs their expertise, but she has a bad guy after her, trying to steal said treasure map. Among other things, he wants the map and a magic dagger the heroes found, which will let him gain the power of the Firewalker, an ancestor and mystic figure of legend. They seek out the advice of a Native American elder who warns them of the mystic power they may be facing. After a few adventures, eventually our heroes wind up in a banana republic in South America as they work their way through the jungle to the temple that houses the treasure. They have to deal with both the government soldiers as well as a rebel army, and the bad guy is on their trail the whole way. Will they find the treasure and defeat the bad guy? Can they counteract his mystic powers and escape alive? This movie is kind of a poor relation. See, in the 1980s, there were a lot of things that wanted to be Raiders of the Lost Ark, but just weren't as good. That didn't stop the studios from trying to cash in on the popularity of Raiders, though. Alan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold, for instance, and its sequel, King Solomon's Mines, and Bring 'Em Back Alive, starring Bruce Boxleitner, and Tales of the Gold Monkey were both short-lived TV series. Firewalker is kinda one of those, with 1930s styled American adventurers overseas looking for a lost tomb or whatever that contains some treasure and basically having adventures. And the movie is a send-up of the treasure hunting adventurer genre, definitely tongue-in-cheek. Lou Gossett Jr. has a lot of fun with his character, the buddy dragged along on the adventures, mostly against his will. John Rhys-Davies has a small, though interesting part as one of Norris's friends living as a warlord in South America. And we have Canadian hottie Melody Anderson, who appeared quite often on TV and in features in the 1970s and 80s. She played Dale Arden in Flash Gordon. She was in Saint Elsewhere, Jake and the Fat Man, and she was the love interest on Manimal. Oh, you like the animal in a fella, do you? Yeah. I'm available. I kinda like how this mystic power is mostly only hinted at, but they don't do enough with it, really. The movie could have used a few more scenes showing that power in action. Here, it's very much shoved into the background, maybe too much. We see a few instances of people in trances and that kind of thing, but I would have liked to seen a bit more. And while it's hinted that Anderson's character has some psychic connection to this power, they don't do much with that, sadly. Despite being a Chuck Norris movie, this movie doesn't have a lot of fights, oddly enough. It isn't like you see Norris taking on Bruce Lee. You do see him in some fights, of course, and most of the action is on display in a barroom brawl. But outside of that, the majority of the fights are quickies where Norris can show off his signature spin kick to take out an opponent. So for the most part, Norris is more showing the flag here rather than doing anything really spectacular. Maybe he was starting to feel his age. I don't know. I'm giving Firewalker 2 paws up. As a comedy, it's okay. As an adventure movie, it's okay. It's pretty much okay. Not great or anything, but okay. Not objectionable either, really. It's amiable and Norris fans will enjoy it. The movie is likable for what it is, but it's no Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's basically a light, low-budget, disposable comedy with some adventuring thrown in. It's enjoyable enough and a change of pace for Norris. You can watch my review of Black Rain here. And down there, you can see more reviews of movies from the 1980s. You take care, and I'll see you in the next one.